Welcome to another edition of Life and Style by Kevin Samuels. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me out. I'm trying to get this channel up over 10,000 people, and I'll be announcing some giveaways coming up soon. Okay, I gotta be honest. Everybody has a little secret in the fragrance world. In the fashion world, my little secret is a big secret. I love Tom Ford. And in the fragrance world, I love a lot of things, but I really like Bond Number 9. Now, because I've had some really strange questions as of late, I don't know. I guess maybe there's something to do. So let me just go ahead and announce it. I don't work for Bond. I'm not affiliated with Bond. I'm not sponsored by Bond. My word is Bond. And here's the thing. I know many people in the fragrance community, or at least on the fragrance boards, really don't like Bond. And, you know, I've read some of the bad press they've had and such and so forth about this and that. And I'm like, for real? I think we get a little too serious at times in this hobby. And I'm like, okay, honestly, people, we just elected Donald Trump as president. You want to go in on the owner of Bond? Just saying. Why do I like Bond? Well, first of all, I like fragrances that last and perform well on my skin. Another thing, I like fragrances that attract women. I will say this, men, we have a far different, nasal palate than women. You know, what we like and what women like are far different. I would tell you this, Bond gets me lots of attention from the opposite sex. And that's a good thing because as a stylist, I just have to make a professional admission. I don't care where you stand in this hobby. Any of my clients, male or female, always want to be attractive to the opposite sex or the sex they're trying to attract. Period, hands down, end of sentence. Between 20 to 80 years old, male, female, across the world, doesn't matter. Attractiveness is what this is a part of attraction. Women have a higher, smell rates higher for women than it does for men. And guys, women love fragrances that bend that gender. It shows your masculine but your soft side. And for me, Bond does that very well on my skin. I have to say, out of everything I've smelled, some of the things that perform the best on my skin are Bond Number 9 fragrances. So, hey, I bought them. So I wanted to, and here's the thing, another thing, people always ask, well, put the bottle here, don't put the bottle there. As a fragrance reviewer, you know, it's if you have an extensive fragrance collection, it depends on where you're filming. Putting bottles in, we try to put them in as much as possible. Some like them, some don't. Okay, here's for the people who like to see bottles. This is just a part of my Bond Number 9 collection. Again, we have a pretty small area here, so I just want to show it. One of the things I like the best is every time I order, I get a bunch of little candies. Of course, you don't eat these things. This is a great way to sample stuff. I have sampled the entire line. You know, I own almost 60 now. I was over 80 at one time. Sold some, gave them away. But Bond does some things really right, especially for me, because their fragrances project and perform on my skin, and I get compliments on each and every Bond fragrance I wear. I even like some of the fragrances that lean female. Chinatown, incredible women's scent. Lexington Avenue, a lot of stuff by Andy Warhol. You know, success is a job. You know, they make some incredible women's fragrances. But another thing, ladies just tend to dig these things on me. So, hey, if you never tried the house, you know, do yourself a favor. I know they're kind of different. Now here's one thing I do know. At least from what I read, they don't like people decanting their stuff, and they're pretty, judicious about how the samples get out, such and so forth. So they can be a pain to work with from some people. I gotta be honest, my dealings with them haven't been that way. I can say a couple of things. Bond makes some of my favorite fragrances of all time. New York Oud. If you witness my top 10, my top 15, this was on there. Harrods Agarwood. This is my third bottle of that. One that's kind of hidden, a lot of people don't know about, Manhattan. If you like a peach kind of fragrance, this is it. Andy Warhol, the one with the face on it. I actually have sold that off. I got another one coming though. New Harlem, if you like gourmand, it's a nice syrupy, sexy pancakes is what I call this. Signature, just a great understated fragrance. Beautiful bottle. And then of course, Bleecker Street, like I say, it's Prince to me. Wall Street, this is a love-hate fragrance, but on my skin, it works. Tons of compliments from this thing. Summertime, oh, Montauk, a beautiful blueberry fragrance, but the performance is iffy. This is one of the ones that are iffy for me, but in the high heat, it really works, right along with Sag Harbor. So, and then some of their signature notes, patchouli, musk, and amber. This thing is a beast. Be careful on the trigger. And if you like the one I showed you in the gold bottle, Shelter Island is the gold bottle for the summer, a little bit more pepper. And then this is my favorite orange kind of fragrance of Bond, and it serves to take, when I take any of the New York notes, I actually brighten it up with a Little Italy. This is Eau De New York. This thing has the fragrance pyramid that's longer than an encyclopedia. Do not get that on your clothes. Don't wear it on any, don't spray it when you wear anything white because it will discolor your stuff. Bond is strong. Bond gets compliments. There are people that say Bond is more synthetic, this and that. Here's one thing, fellas. And this is to men in particular. The fragrance community is pretty much dominated by men on YouTube as far as comments and even the watches. I can look at the analytics. But women's impressions of fragrances, you have to understand, are far different than ours. Look at any top list. You'll see a guy saying, these are my top fragrances, but they're the ones that are most complimented are completely different or drastically different from women. I get tons of compliments from Bond. I wear Bond often because, like I said, longevity, performance, and it makes me a sexy modern savage beast. So that's what it is. I easily could have said Tom Ford because we know I love Tom Ford. I could have said Creed. I could have said Maison Francois Kirkjean. He is my favorite, one of my favorite perfumers. Many other things, but I had to be honest. This is just part of it. The rest of it's still in the coolers. Maybe I'll break those out in another video. Do me a favor. If you like Bond or don't like Bond, I get it. You know, this is not a love or hate Bond thing. This is just part of my Bond collection. I kind of wanted to show it because I think Bond needs a little bit more representation because there's so much animosity and hate out there for it. I mean, come on, let's just all get along. I mean, there's enough stuff going on in the world. We don't need to always be so at odds. I mean, if you don't dig it, if you think they're derivative or they copy this, man, come on, really? Really? It's not that serious. If they do something well, let somebody do something well. You don't like it, you know, don't buy it. I dig it. So I'll tell anyone who's listening to me, and if you're an objective person, do yourself a favor. Get out, smell it, try it. If you love it, buy it. Till next time, talk at you later.